In the last session, we learned the various methods of collecting primary data, and the methods of collecting data are learned in a brief. In this session, we learn elaborately the first two methods of collecting the primary data. That is, under this session, we learn the meaning of observation method and survey method, then types of observation method and survey method, and key consideration of creating a questionnaire for survey. Learning objectives are like this: to understand the concept of observation method and survey method, to understand the merits and demerits of observation method and survey method. Session outcomes are theoretical understandings of observation method and survey method. Students are also know the subdivisions of the above two methods and also how to create a questionnaire for survey. Let us know what is meant by observation method and what are the types of observation method. The information is sought by way of investigators' own direct observation without asking from the respondents. Under the observation method, there are 6 types, that is, structured and unstructured observation, participant and non-participant observation, controlled and uncontrolled observation. Let us know one by one. Observation of an event personally by the observer is called as structured observation. Observer was not involved in his physical presence is termed as unstructured observation. Next one, the observer is a part of the phenomenon which is observed and he acts as both an observer and a participant is called as participant observation. The observer stands apart and does not participate in the phenomenon observed is called as non-participant observation. And the last two types of observation methods are: if the observation takes place in the natural setting, it may be termed as uncontrolled observation. When the observation takes place according to definite pre-arranged plans involving experimental procedure is termed as controlled observation. Then, to know some of the merits and demerits of the observation method. The merits are like this: subjective bias is eliminated, not complicated by either the past behavior or future intention or attitudes. And third one, independent of respondents' willingness to respond. The demerits are: it is an expansive method. The information provided by this method is very limited. Sometimes unforeseen factors may interfere with the observational task. Let us know the second method of collecting the primary data or the survey method. A survey is a data collection method where you select a sample of respondents from a large population in order to gather information about that population. The process of identifying individual from the population who you will interview is known as sampling. To gather data through a survey, you construct a questionnaire to prompt information from the selected respondents. Then we know what are the key considerations for creating a questionnaire. First one is, make sure the questions and choices are unambiguous. Second one is, make sure the questionnaire will be completed within a reasonable amount of time. And last one is, make sure there are no typographical errors. So then we know what are the types of surveys. The important types of surveys are online survey, face-to-face survey, telephone survey and paper survey. And lastly, we know what are the merits and demerits of the survey methods. Under the merits, time and cost savings because you only interview a sample. Second one, select your sample correctly, obtain information of acceptable accuracy. And last one is, surveys are adaptable, collect data from businesses, governments and any other environment where data is needed. The only demerit of survey method is you fail to select a sample correctly. The results will not accurately generalize the population. So these are the two methods of collecting the primary data. Then the other methods of collecting primary data is learned in the next session.